Hey guys, it's Jasmine with Manifest Fast with Jasmine. Sorry, I'm a little bit late if you're watching live. I go live 3 days a week now. Mondays, what is it? Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So make sure that you are clicking that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you know every time that I'm going live. This video is going to be the perfect video if you want to know exactly how to make your person do what you want them to do, which basically I'm going to explain this further. You really, really have to be able to understand this in the correct way, through the correct frame, through the correct lens. You manifest your person using love. This is a secret tool, but most people don't know what love is. So that's what I'm teaching you guys how to do on this channel. Is what you think is manifesting is really you're learning how to harness love, because love is really the thing that changes everything and manifests the relationship that you want. And this is really magical. Manifesting is magical. And what you need to know is that, yeah, they don't have nobody and nothing, no circumstance, no person, your person doesn't have free will. Because when you change, they change. You manifest your reality. There are zero exceptions to that, none. But where people are going wrong is they pay attention to the outside and try to change the outside instead of changing themselves. And people really don't know how to harness the energy that creates worlds so that you can see and witness deliberately with control with your own eyes. Oh yeah, I know how to change to make everything else change, right? So that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do. And I'm going to explain this in a way today where there's different levels of being able to manifest your person, and there's different levels of being able to manifest reality. So what we do most often is there's some ways that we manifest our person or our reality that we just naturally automatically do. Like you just kind of automatically found yourself in a position where this circumstance wasn't a thing to you. And so you just manifested what you want, even though you had a little bit of evidence to the contrary, right? But when it comes to those places in reality that are a snag for you, like maybe with your specific person or certain situations with your specific person, then it's like your eyes are glued to them and to the circumstance, and you're paying attention to them and to the circumstance, and you're taking that as solidly real, and you just fuck everything up, right? And it's just like this domino effect. You just fuck everything up instead of manifesting what you want. So what we really want to know is how to lead with the energy that manifests exactly the world that we want every single time with your person. Look, I have got this down to a point where I'm not just deliberately manifesting in certain places anymore. I really, really got it down where it's consistent and throughout, right? It's consistent throughout all the different circumstances and details of my life. They're all the same to me. And I understand how to lead with the energy that creates my world and leave circumstances behind. This is what you're going to learn if you are dedicated and committed and persistent to learning manifesting to the best of your ability. It is a long-term commitment and practice. That is what I have done, right? That's what you have to do if you want to continue leading and manifesting your person and your world in the way that you want. Never, ever, ever, ever is a circumstance actually the issue. Never, ever, ever, ever is it actually difficult to change a circumstance. You just need to train yourself to know how. You have to train yourself how to harness the energy that shifts your world and shifts your person. I have been doing this left and right, and I tell you, within 48 fucking hours, I can change my whole world. Okay, and this is what's going to happen to you when you understand this and you're dedicated. So I have a couple of visuals for you guys today because y'all love my visuals. I'm going to teach you something really cool today. So I teach bubble love. I teach people how to get into bubble love, to manifest bubble love with your person, because this is an energy that if you get into the energy of bubble love, it is the most insane. It is the most insane experience, and it's a very novel, visceral, out of this world, mystical experience. And you can actually use that energy to not only manifest your person or your relationship, but you can actually use that energy if you understand how to hone it, which that's what I taught in Supernatural Love. That's in the description below. if you understand how to hone this energy, you can use it to change every single aspect of your world. And that's what I did when I manifested supernatural love with my person. I then brought that energy into like the rest of my life and learned how to do it. So anyways, this is all the things that you're going to learn with me. But most people, they understand the experience of bubble love as like the honeymoon phase in a relationship, and most people believe that that can't last forever, or at least that it doesn't last forever, right? That's like the overall consensus that most mundane people have on the subject. Well, in my world, I can manifest anything that I want. So I know that bubble love can last forever, supernatural love experience can last forever. But the fact that it doesn't for most people actually illustrates what goes wrong in relationships and why. And so, like, that's what I'm going to illustrate for you today. I'm going to give you that understanding of like what happens when you're actually manifesting correctly, and then where you transition to when it starts fucking up and your relationship goes down, right? And this is all about, harnessing the right energies and understanding like what the mechanism of manifesting really is, and then knowing like how to do it deliberately and do what you need to do deliberately so that you can continue manifesting whatever it is that you want with your person. I swear to you, this is not like manifesting is not manipulation. Okay. It's just like a fact of the universe responds to you. So, like, wherever you are, that's where everything else in your reality is going to be. So, okay, when you first meet a person, I'm going to illustrate this way if you want your person to, be the person that you want them to be. You have to be in love. And love is a lot of things that people don't really understand that it is. People often confuse love with lack or needing or wanting, right? It's not that. But here's an illustration of like when you first meet someone, you're in this sort of it's easy for you to think in a like happy, joyful, delightful, positive way about them. Unless if like you already have like a lot of fears and paranoia prior to meeting them, then when you meet them, like you're not really you might like them, but you're going to have a lot of fears come up right away. But like if you're mainly in like a positive energy, when you meet someone, you're going to find yourselves in bubble love. Okay, this is where you're like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing ever, which a lot of you have experienced that. That's why you're here, right? So, like, how does this happen? What goes wrong, right? So, when you first meet someone, it's all fun and games and love. Like, there's no reason for you to go into like thinking about reality based stuff, really, right? You're not really thinking too hard into them or into the relationship because you're just kind of taking it all in. You're just kind of enjoying. Your fears and your paranoia and whatever is there hasn't really kicked in yet. So there's a certain focus here that is conducive to harmony, bliss, ecstasy, joy, and momentum around like these positive love vibrations. You're not thinking anything that is stopping that flow. So here's what happens that stops the flow. And like this is really a mind fuck because we think that we're supposed to focus on what is happening around us. But the more that you get better at manifesting, the more that you're going to recognize and understand that you really need to ignore what's out there and experience your reality from within. And that is how you control what shows up on the screen of space. So, like the mistake that people make when they get into bubble love, the mistake that they start making that takes you out of it is you start focusing very hard on all of the details of this person, and you start looking and analyzing and taking it very serious and saying, like, you're calculating the pluses and the minuses and how we're compatible and how we're not and how's he going to do and how's he not, and you're like, instead of living from within your fantasy and projecting that outward, you're looking to the outside to see what the outside is going to give you or not, and what it looks like in terms of possibilities and probabilities based on the outside circumstance. That's freaking the opposite of what you're supposed to do with manifesting. And this is why it's so hard for people to learn manifesting, is because the mechanism of manifesting is completely the opposite of everything that you thought as a human that you're supposed to do. And it's not like when you learn how to manifest, like you just walk around with a blindfold on and you don't know anything that's going on. Like you do, but you don't take your cues from the outside. You live from within. You live from this energetic space that you're using to create and pave your way through your world and paste onto your world. And this is not an unnatural thing. Like I think a lot of people try to go about manifesting and they try to make themselves do it, and you can't. You have to literally move your own vibration, and then like everything else happens automatically. And that's something that's really hard for people to do too, because they don't want to focus generally. Because once you fall into like paying attention to circumstances, you get very, very honed in, hypnotized, and specific on the circumstance. Okay. And so, like, it's literally a training that you have to put yourself through to rip your attention away from the specific thing that you're like obsessed with in a negative way, so that you can, oh, just move my vibration and feel better and that's going to fix everything. Yes, exactly. That's exactly how this works. Okay. But like you literally have to kind of, yeah, train yourself to rip your attention away from whatever it is that you're obsessed with circumstantially wise. So people, and this is not really the best, but I'm gonna use it. So basically right here, this is where the energy, the positive energy between you and another person goes up. When you meet, it goes up, because it's all like in the beginning, it's all like fun and games and love and like positivity, and like you're just kind of thinking on a very like lighthearted, superficial wavelength. And superficial, not meaning anything bad, just superficial, like you're keeping it simple and having fun and not complicating it, right? So like you go up into bubble love when in the beginning, when you're not like when you're not, I guess, before reality sets in, I guess is a good way of saying it. So you kind of reach this peak, and then like you start getting serious, right? Reality sets in, you start getting serious, and then you notice that this is where things start to go down, because play is love, and that's what you did in the beginning. But then you reach some place where you let fears start to let reality, your idea of reality, your fear-based idea of reality set in for you. And then this is what breeds worries and fears, right? So you're worried, you're in fear, you're thinking about reality, pluses, minuses, possibilities, trajectories. Oh my God, what ifs? And that's all lack. It feels like, how do you know that you're doing this? Because it feels heavy hearted. It feels stuck in your mind based thinking. It feels like survival, like I have to do a thing or I can't do a thing. It feels lack based, like I can't have a thing or I'm limited in some way. It feels like your fears are coming up and talking to you and you're believing them. It feels like you're trying now to hold on to it, or you want to, or you're worried about being able to hold on to it. And it also feels like I need to work extra hard to try to make this thing work. And now it's getting hard. So rock and hard place comes in. And so we kind of reach this place where we start thinking very reality based, and all of that is actually nothing that you really need to do, period. And I know that that sounds so strange, but like this is why people don't get a really, really good deliberate handle on manifesting in the way that they want, is because like you can't fathom how or why this actually does work, because the two worlds don't speak to each other. Lack and love, it's like heaven and hell. They're not communicating. So going from one to the other, you need this bridge. And the bridge is called faith and belief. And this is taught in all the religions and all the spirituality, and now in manifesting as well, because this is what all of it is teaching, is how you can create freedom and love and peace in your world. So of course, the the connecting factor between no matter what metaphor it is that you choose to believe in manifesting and love, all of it is converging at faith and trust and belief. You know that you have to have those things. You know that there's something about this word peace. You know there's something about this word trust, something about this word love, whether we really have a grip on what love is or not, right? We kind of have this headway, like this direction that we kind of know is good. And that's the bridge, like in the Quran, it says, I know and you don't know, like God speaking and saying, I know and you don't know. And that's true when you're in lack and you don't know how to get to the other side. You do know, but it requires faith and belief and trust. It requires a walk of faith. It requires you to believe in manifesting or whatever your metaphor is, and believe in that so fully that you're able to take a leap of faith and stick with it and be committed to it and trust. And when you are able to actually believe and trust and do these things, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be able to start dropping the notion of circumstances, stop worrying so much, let your fears go. So you're going to stop thinking reality-based so much. You're going to learn how to not rely on the mind or think about the problem so much. You're going to start going back to play, love, fun, games, and just being and trusting and knowing that you being in this faith, peace, love, joy energy, that's the energy that creates worlds. That's where you're supposed to be. That's what you need to practice. And it doesn't make sense from a lack-based, human, reality-based state. But you get to decide, do you want to come on this journey and become a living God in form, a deliberate creator? Do you want to be the God of your reality? And do you want to see that shit working for you? Or do you want to continue being a human with very little choices and never really get what you want because you can't trust enough to become that person who knows how it works and can make it work, right? So we all have choices. And your choice that you make to become love and believe, this is how you become very powerful, okay, in your manifesting ability. If a choice is easy to make and automatic, right? If you don't have if there's no difficulty involved in the choice, is it really a choice? So here's this thing that, like, most people, when it gets very hard and they want to give up, that's when they'll give up. What I'm saying to you is that if you want to hone lots of power in your manifesting ability to change your world, when the going gets the toughest, when you really want to give up more than ever before, that is the moment where you choose to believe and dive into what you believe in with all of your might like never before. You commit when it's hardest to what you truly know and believe and what you're really going to side with and go with. And that is what will make you the most powerful manifester that you have ever been. So when the going gets tough, you jump harder. You jump into that leap of faith even more with equal velocity and veracity than your doubt and your worry and your fear. That is you exercising your freedom and your power of choice. That is you demonstrating to the universe that you do truly believe, even if you haven't figured it all out yet. And that is where you're going to get mighty results to be a deliberate creator in your world. Here's how it works when you want to manifest your person. And everything that I tell you guys, I've been manifesting for 17 years. Okay. And I'm obsessive about it. And I was born with natural abilities, I don't know, to understand these things. But I'm doing these things all of the time. And I only teach you guys what I have already tested over and over and over and what really, really works. So what I do And this is going to go along with everything that you know about manifesting. But once you start really actually doing this, it's the easy manifesting is the easiest thing that you've ever done. It's like and then you'll see how like even big things are easy, right? So I I'm aware. I've learned how to be aware. I've trained myself how to be aware, which I train you guys to do that too in the Manifesting University. But I've trained myself to be aware. So I'll watch myself and I'll watch what I do and I'll sort of like go back and see what I need to change. But I noticed that with my person, I was paying a lot of attention to him and just like, really, really paying attention to like what he's doing, what he's saying, what he's feeling, what he's thinking, and like really taking all of that in and paying very good attention and calculating based on what I was seeing. And I noticed that there was something off about that vibration. And, it's like I said, it's a mind fuck because like we're taught to like, oh, you should take in all the information and like you should pay very good attention to what's going on around you. And I'm very good at that. I'm very detail oriented. But I noticed that something was off. And I was like, of course it's off because I'm looking at him as if it matters what he's doing, as if any of that can affect me. Because here's the thing, I think in the Bible it says, you're either with me or you're against me. And this is how it works with manifesting is like you either believe in circumstances or you believe in the energy that creates worlds, love, manifesting that. Okay, that's the powerful stuff that you create with. But wherever and however much that you are giving creative credit to circumstances, those are all the places where you are not relying on God or love or the energy that creates worlds, right? These are all the same thing. Like in religions, they'll say God. Like in spirituality, it's like energy vibration. Like in manifesting, we say the energy that creates worlds. All the same. To me, God is love. Love is all that is. Love is the energy that creates worlds. It's all actually love. Love is what creates, right? Love is the highest intelligence. Love is what transcends all things unlike itself. And like, so this is actually the label that I give to this energy that I've learned how to hone and harness and use to create in my world. Now, I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about manifesting, and one of them is that you change the outside. That is going to throw you off if that's what you think. So the outside does change, okay? But the interpretation, you need to have a different interpretation about this because you change your vibration, and then according to whatever vibration that you're in, that's what everything else is going to look like. That's how you control everything. So like now that I'm manifesting like better than ever before and I've got it down better than ever before, I literally ignore everything going on. I have like no fucking negative vibrational relationship to anything. I give no credence to circumstances, no credence to people, okay? There's no, and it's not that I don't know what's going on. I hear and understand what's going on. I'm not being dumb, right? Like I'm not walking around blindfolded, but like I have no vibrational chips in circumstances or people. There is like all of my vibrational chips are in love and the energy that creates worlds. So like circumstances, and no matter what you hear your person saying or doing or thinking, that shit is completely irrelevant. I go put my vibrational chips where they belong, in love, in all that is, in the energy that creates worlds. And then it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what you think is a circumstance that can't be fixed. I swear to fucking God. I swear. You change inside here, the energy, and you quantum leap into a different energy here, which is easy to do. And it just completely morphs all of the circumstances and all of the experience of your world. So I think that another thing that goes wrong with people when they're trying to manifest, especially a person, is like they'll do a little bit of like they'll do a little bit of like maybe affirmations or a technique, or they'll do meditation. They'll feel a little bit better. They'll do a little bit of alignment, whatever that is. They'll do a thing. And then they'll be like, I did it and it didn't work. No, 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 no. Let me tell you how this works. If you don't become the dominant leading energy in like your whole life, like you're the manifester. No one has free will but you. And like you always lead with the energy no matter what. You lead with the energy, you lead with your belief. Okay? So like you can never ever ever put your or like give your power over to something circumstantially and then say it didn't work. You gave your power over to that shit. How are you? If you saying it doesn't work, if you say it doesn't work, you're not doing the very thing that you're supposed to do to make it work. Like you're confused about what's going on here, you know? So you change your vibration to such a degree that you become completely vibrationally dominant no matter what happens around you. And no matter what happens around you, you become transparent and invincible to whatever is going on around you. And that is when everything morphs to you. When you become dominant and untouchable vibrationally, that's when everything aligns to you. So if you do a little vibrational playing and I'm in a better mood right now, haha, but you haven't actually really quantum leaped into a new reality and really solidly changed your vibration and your beliefs, then you will go around your person and they will influence you and you'll be right back into a shitty vibration. And then you say it didn't work. No, you didn't change yourself to a degree of becoming untouchable. So this is where the practice and consistency and dedication and really understanding manifesting and really applying it to the best of your ability, not for a short-term gain, guys. Manifesting, like if you're like, I'll do this program for a month so that I can get my specific person. No, that's an impure motivation and it's not going to work for you because you have an impure motivation. You're like, I just want this thing to change. I just want this thing to change. Like, that's not serious. That's not committed. That's not dedication. That's not long-term. That's not real commitment. Okay. You have to really care about learning and knowing what this is if you really want to have that deliberate creative paintbrush baby. But I can tell you what, that once, let's say that you learn how to manifest your person. If your goal was simply to do that, there's going to be a million other things that you want. And then you're going to end up back at square one because you didn't learn how to apply this in all of the different ways as fully as you would like to, right? So like sometimes you can get a little bit of result with your person and you're like, oh my God, it worked. Ha! And then you're not keeping it up. So like it just goes back to square one. And you know that you're doing this because there's a roller coaster. There's like this cycle. The cycle means that you didn't truly change and there's something still in there that you need to change. Do you know how often I change? On a daily and weekly basis. I change my belief systems. I reconstruct my reality. I reconstruct my thoughts. I'm looking at things and I'm changing the way that I'm doing because when I change me, I change my reality. And there's always something to change because evolution never ends. Okay. So the more I've seen so much more success all the way around on any and every endeavor, big or small, when the person who wants to create change makes it a long-term lifetime game, right? Not a short-term, got to lose 50 pounds in a month, got to get my specific person right now, and that's all I care about. You can't manifest if you can't change you. So it's all about you being able to change you. So your long-term lifetime goal needs to be being able to change me so that I can continue changing my reality and live the life that I want. That points to a self-loving endeavor. That points to something that is solid and something that is going to last because you're now addressing the true cause. And I think that when it comes to manifesting, self-love is not emphasized enough. This is really the piece and the part that I think, after my 17 years that I think was missing. Like if you have cycles and roller coasters and you're learning a lot, but you're not really getting the results that you want, really, like you're not really getting that magic wand status, it's self-love. And I'll tell you why, because we all know that you're supposed to trust, have faith, follow your joy. And like the higher your alignment, your vibration is, the more creative control that you're going to have in your life. Because when you raise your vibration, you just have access to the worlds that you want to have access to and the thoughts you want to have access to. And when you lower your vibration, you only have access to the crappy stuff, and you don't know how to get out of that thinking or that feeling, right? So self-love is a mechanism that when you practice it, you're actually going to allow yourself to access the energy that creates worlds that feels like love and joy and happiness. You're not going to be able to create love and joy and happiness on the outside screen of space if you don't truly authentically have it through and through for you, which means you have to be able to give it to you first. You manifest your reality. Love is what manifests reality. Love is the thing holding it all together and calling all the shots, right? Or lack of it, right? And so when you learn how to experience and be love in like a way that I translate as like it's like a self-love experience, because you're able to give yourself the energy that creates worlds. That's like a self-loving action. Then you have something to work with. Something that, as long as you have that, your vibration is going to be high. Your thoughts are going to be high about you. Your self-concept is going to be high where you want it to be. And then you're going to be able to perceive your person loving you, because you can perceive that you're lovable. And you're going to be able to perceive all of the wonderful thoughts that you want about the world, because you're like coming from this place of that which is love, right? Which is all the good things. And so I think ultimately, these are just all the things that you need to know. You need to know that it doesn't matter circumstances, what is going on, who, what, when, where, how. And I keep so I'm live right now and you guys are asking questions in the chat here. And I'm getting a lot of circumstantial questions. It's like, okay, so can you bring him back? And what if he's married? And what if this? And what if that? And it's like, circumstances don't matter. Like really, this is what you won't let yourself register it, that circumstances really don't matter. It doesn't matter if you think that they have a mental illness. It doesn't matter if you think that they're, what it is. But you see how you're giving your power away to circumstances when any little thing, like I saw somebody say the other day, well, he lives 2 hours away and we're in no contact. I'm like, look at how you're giving your power away to circumstances. And that's the opposite of creating your world. So like, ultimately, if you want to learn how to manifest your world and your person to your liking, easy and automatically, first of all, you got to believe it. So if you're still watching, you probably do believe it. Okay. Now, if you believe it, you're going to be demonstrating that belief through some sort of like action or like pursuing the learning of this, right? Because that's the only reason why I ever continued learning about manifesting, no matter what, is because I just was like, there's got to be a way to have what you want. Right before I even knew about manifesting, I was like, there's got to be a way to have more. There's got to be a way, right? I believe that. And look at that. I found it. But you got to commit to leading your world with the energy that creates worlds. You have to commit to leading your world creatively and energetically. Never, ever, ever decide that you can't have something and give your power away to a circumstance, because every single which way that you decide to give your power away to a circumstance, you're not going to have power in that situation. You're not going to be a creator or a manifester. What you want to do in general is learn how to drop circumstances, become aware, and hone the energy that creates worlds. That's a practice. Okay. Now I'm at such a place in my journey where I know exactly what the practice is. So like I know where I'm at in my practice, and like I know how to hone the energy that creates worlds, and I know how to gain momentum on that and how to practice that. And I know how to do the quantum leaping and the traveling because I'm practiced, and I never stop practicing. And so I keep getting better and better. And so in my Manifesting University, every single month, I'm running a course that is teaching you how to do all these things. And 1 month is, if you really were able to like apply all the things and really do it like genuinely and sincerely, you could make a lot of progress in 1 month. But really, like I said, it's a lifetime endeavor. And the longer that you stay committed to learning and applying, the better that you're going to get at it. And I will tell you that out of sight, out of mind. So if you start dwindling, ask yourself, you're either trying too hard or you're not reinforcing, and you're probably not reinforcing in the right way or in a good enough way. And there's somehow that you're not trusting, right? Someone says, how do you personally get back to love when you're triggered? See, that's part of it. That's part of it, right? So like I said, you have to learn how to drop circumstances and clear your head. You have to learn how to get back to peace. You have to learn how to be aware. You have to learn how to hone the energies of love, the energies that create worlds. This is what I teach my Manifesting University. So like you can watch all the YouTube videos in the world, you can do all the meditations in the world, but like there has to be a long-term training and practice if you want to be attuned to being a manifesting machine and being the god of your reality. You're always leading your reality energetically, whether you like it or not. And you can choose to give your power away to circumstances, but your life is going to suck. And so if your life sucks and you don't have what you want, you're definitely giving your power away to circumstances. Learning how to take your power back is a training and a practice and a commitment that takes action-based steps, right? You actually have to lead and do this. And if you actually believe in manifesting, it's not going to be that hard for you. So if we go back to where, love, when you're focused on love, the bubble love just goes up. And then when it stops being a game and you start letting reality set in and tell you how to worry and fear, right? Like you start going into lack and it just gets worse and worse. And like probably all of you this is exactly what every single one of you have experienced in your relationship. You're like, yeah, it was really good. And then it went down. I was like, okay, think about what you started thinking about when it went down. There was some kind of worry, fear, something that came up, right? And then you gave your power away to that and you started feeling into that. And like, that's it. That's where you stayed, right? And then you're like, why can't I get it back? Because like, you need to learn how to take your power back. You don't need to learn how to change him. You need to learn how to take your power back so that you're not influenced by him, but he's influenced by you. Yes. I am the leader in my reality energetically. And when I lead with the energy, everything conforms to me. That's what this is. That's what this is. So if you're on board with that, learn how to make manifesting a game. Really learn how to never give your power away to circumstances, right? Never be obsessed with the circumstances, what is going on in the outside, and allowing other people to dictate what your experience is going to be. There's no circumstance that dictates what your experience is going to be. I don't care what it is. You know what I love the most about manifesting is I can have a big fat fucking huge ass problem on my hands, and I can have a big Mount Everest problem, something that looks really solidly real, and I can look at that mountain and that problem and I can be like, watch, I'm going to change my energy and the whole shit's going to change. Not only is the whole shit going to change, it's going to turn all the way the fuck around. And guess what? Not only is it going to change, but I'm going to get the equal and opposite result. As crappy as this thing is, it's going to be equally delicious and awesome and magnificent by the time that I'm done turning this shit around. That's the purpose here, for me to have it all. And every single time, I can turn it around. I can change it. And that is the evidence. Circumstances don't matter. They never did. They never do. And so do you want to learn this or not? All right. So I'm getting ready to do a 4-day live retreat in my Manifesting University for fantasy, the course that I'm doing this month. Okay. So the retreats are, like I said, 4 days, you get coaching. These are the highest level quantum leap teachings. And life-changing. If you go to a retreat, you're going to experience a shift by the time that you're done. Now, if you join the Manifesting University now, you can get caught up on all the other lessons that we're doing that prepare you to take in the high level quantum leap teachings. Okay. And if you don't want to join, I do always have things on sale every single month. So this month I have the game on sale, and that's just the high level retreat. So you'll kind of get to see like what that's all about and then decide if you want to join live or not. But anyways, I'm going to put those links in the description below. If you're still watching, that means you like the video. So make sure that you click the like button, subscribe, hit that bell, and click all so that you know every time I'm going live. Me and my man are going to come on here and tell y'all a little bit more about the story of how we met and all the things that we discovered energetically through our supernatural love experience. And I will see you on Thursday and Friday for the rest of our lives on YouTube. See ya.